Hello, today my partner Dalian and I will talk a little about the concept of being a learner according to Harmer, who tells us that there is no predetermined approach to learning a language. Each person is different and in the same way learns differently. In this way, the text presents some differences, characteristics, and strategies that motivate the learning of the language from different styles. To begin with, the individual differences of each student must be taken into account, and among them, age plays an important role in the cognitive field, as Piaget said, or social, according to Vygotsky. So it is not the same to teach a child as it to teach an adult, due to how the brain learns in the critical period. However, adults can also learn through their experiences. This implies that there is no age to learn, but different teaching methods according to age. A 5 years old child is active and finds it difficult to differentiate reality from fantasy because he learns by playing. A 10 years old child can already begin to make associations according to what he has experienced. The teenager is in search of identity and has a creative period that can be taken advantage of. And finally, the adult has experienced analysis and a broader vision of the world. Taking the above into account, it is of great importance to look at the student learning styles. For example, what perceptions attract them the most. It is through the visual and auditory, or also how they learn more easily, or what is easier for them. Your type of intelligence, or whether you're introverted or extroverted. In my case, the style that helped me the most was the auditory, given the fact that I listened to music in English and then look up for the meaning in the dictionary, improving not only my vocabulary but my pronunciation through my childhood age. After analyzing and knowing the students, the teacher's task is to find a point that motivates learning. Here, everything is based on being comprehensive. How can I bring new knowledge from the knowledge that the student already handled and through what's attracting them?
Now, what teachers can do about students' motivation, there are four main things. The first one, teachers need to create a vision of how this could affect and help them. Second, tasks must be created so that they can achieve their goals. Activities should be relevant in order to increase motivation. And fourth, the teacher's attitude toward the class also influences the students' motivation. And the agency, of course. Motivation has played an important role in my academic field since with this desire to learn, I have reached where I am and I hope to continue with the same motivation when learning another language such as French or German. Now I'm going to talk about levels. To create the materials and activities for our classes, we must first know what level or levels our students have. Here we have the different levels that our students can be at when the process is going to start. It is very common to find the following: a real beginner, who is a student who doesn't really know anything about the language, or the false beginner, who does know a few things but not enough to say anything. A student takes around 90 to 120 hours from one course or level in order to advance to the next one. Then we have the Common European Framework of Reference, or CFR, which was the result of a collaboration between the Council of Europe and ALTE, Association of Language Testers in Europe. This proposes six levels in which the students can be categorized, as you can see here in the presentation: A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, and C2. Then we have other frameworks of language proficiency, as, for example, Equals, co-inventory made by the British Council, the Vocabulary Profile from Cambridge University Press. The other is the Global Scale of English made by Pearson, which is a 90-point scale aligned to the original CFR research data. So, learning autonomy, the ultimate goal of language teaching is that learner can perfect his language ability without the teacher's help and on his own. For doing this, there are some strategies that the student can do. Learner journals and goals and processes are strategies in which the student can reflect on his process and analyze what needs to improve. Autonomy tasks can also be effective, but we need to give students tasks they really want to do. Then the open learning is based on self-determination on what they want to learn, and self-access are places where the students can go to study. So according to the text, real autonomy presupposes students' agency, so teachers should allow them to choose what they will do or learn. They need to keep learning also outside the classroom, so we as teachers should suggest a number of techniques for them to continue working and study on their own. And finally, one of the most interesting things is the homework. By this, our students can improve their level. So we need to select engaging homework tasks so they get interested in doing it, keeping in mind things like quality and non-quantity, and accept different responses, of course. Well, to answer the second question, we can say that several of the subjects are related to our 21st century skills, such as computer assisted learning in the first semester, multimedia tools in seventh, and e-learning in ninth. In conclusion, we could say that in order to become good teachers, we need to keep in mind all of these elements, since the concepts and ideas will be really important and significant in all our professional life. And if we apply this, our students will probably be the best learners and us be the best teachers. So thank you so much for your attention.